All right. Here we go. Man, 2 weeks off, right? Okay, a couple of things. Tonight is our 900th show. That's right, 900. I don't know how we got here. More on that in just a minute. Spent a week up in Washington. Our last broadcast was on August 2nd. And I can't believe it. Today is the 16th. So when you throw in weekends and other stuff, it just stretched out to a nice, even 2 weeks. But we're back. And there you go. We got lots to talk about tonight. We're going to do a complete Soul Tech recap. We have got hundreds and hundreds of images and other stuff. We'll try to squeeze in as much of that as we can. And I'll incorporate all of the images from tonight's show in our YouTube broadcast that we'll post up tomorrow and get that out there for everybody. But we've had an amazing time and survived it. Flying up. We'll talk about all of this tonight, but flying up and getting up there, getting an RV, driving that over to ECETI, getting set up and getting ready for the conference was just an amazing logistical situation, but we pulled it off and spent a week up, and then to turn around and return, drive out of ECETI, return the RV, get on a plane, and get back here to LA. It was funny. We're at Burbank Airport. We landed and waiting to get picked up, and I said, just a few hours ago, we were driving across Washington. Absolutely incredible that everything went down. So here we go. It's going to be open lines. John Rappaport is going to be here at the bottom of the hour. And then we're going to just do a full recap, and I'm going to sit in the app. If you are at ECETI, give us a call tonight. It'll be open lines. And I think Rita wants to do another show tomorrow. Right? She wants to do a full-on open lines tomorrow night. So we just actually might do that. I'm going to get ready. We're going to go live here in a few minutes. All right. I got a few seconds, and I'll see you guys in a minute.
Bespoke radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Well. How you doing? Hey. That's right. Fade to Black. We're back. Bespoke radio for the masses. Today's Thursday, August 16th, 2018. 229 days into the new year, just 136 days left. This is show number 900. We are live from a bunker somewhere in beautiful downtown Burbank, California. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the Planets. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking? Feels so good to be back in the chair. Very special night tonight. Yes, it is our show number 900 this evening. And it lands on a Fader night. And how appropriate is that? We've got John Rappaport here, the bottom of the hour, with his No More Fake Newsroom Live. Followed by open lines all night long. The call-in numbers are 323-825-5045. Phone lines are already lighting up. Everybody chill out. I'll open up the phone lines at the top of the hour. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. Okay, there you go. I jumped on. We got back from Soul Tech. This is our Soul Tech recap special. We got back late Tuesday evening. Last night, I had to jump over for the Coast Insider chat, and that was at 8 p.m., so no show last night. Tonight's our first opportunity back. All right, so we are here. And we are going to go through everything that was Soul Tech. I'm going to sit here and enjoy myself. I'm going to tell stories. I'm going to go through the entire week. The event was 4 days, but we got there 2 days early. Spectacular stuff went down. And we also left 1 day after, 2 days after. It ended Sunday night. So we were there for Monday and Tuesday. Well, we left Tuesday morning. So there you go. Lots to discuss. I'm going to have the phone lines open. I would appreciate and give priority to anybody who attended Soul Tech that would like to call in tonight and share a story or two. And there you go. Okay, so that's our night tonight. Welcome, show number 900. Okay, also... yesterday was my first opportunity. I didn't take I took a laptop up to Soul Tech, never turned it on. I turned it on for a couple of minutes to download some files onto it. But other than that, totally disconnected. I didn't jump on Stellar, Facebook. I tweeted out a little bit, not much. I did a few tweets because that's the easiest and fastest. But that's it. So I jumped on to OnStellar yesterday. Oh, man, computers and everything, the bunker just seemed so foreign to me. Just, I mean, it was just weird to get your feet back underneath you. So jumped on OnStellar yesterday, OnStellar.com. Had a few hundred friend requests waiting for me there, and I didn't even get to those until today. But posted an article yesterday, posted an article today, and got those out there. You can go check them out on Stellar.com. You can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Facebook is still alive. Whatever. And, of course, YouTube. You can subscribe there. But very soon we will have video channels over at OnStellar. And I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen to YouTube after that. We have 65,000 subscribers over on our YouTube channel, which isn't much, by YouTube standards, but it's 65,000 people. I don't know what we're going to do with them. I guess I'm just going to let them slowly know. And also, YouTube if you don't upload, I think they give you like 30 days or 60 days, but inactivity, they shut the channel down. So it's not like I can just leave it up there for archives forever. You have to continue to upload on the channel. But anyway, enough of that, man. I'm just so tired of YouTube, even though I'm broadcasting there right now. Okay. Twitter, @JChurchRadio. The Sandbox is hashtag F2B on Twitter. And, as you can expect, it is out of control tonight, and I will not be able to keep up with it. We have a few hundred pictures from ESETI and Soltech, and Rita is in command of that, and there you go. Okay? All right. You can also email throughout the show tonight, Jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. Got a little breaking news. Happened earlier today. Aretha Franklin passed away. Yeah, one of the best, if not the best. Her delivery, her singing, and of course, the Blues Brothers. The Queen of Soul has died. She was 76 years old. She died at 9:50 a.m. at her home in Detroit, surrounded by family and friends, according to the statement on behalf of Franklin's family from her longtime publicist, Gwendolyn Quinn. Sad, sad day. 76 years old. And not to get into the details, but my daughter was telling me before the show tonight that 4 years battling pancreatic cancer. And that's the one that you're just not going to lick. Sad day. Sad. She killed it in the Blues Brothers, too. She was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right. I don't think I will be attending Dimensions of Disclosure in Loveland, Colorado. That's taking place this weekend. I'll just go public with it. I have a reoccurring, it's turning into be chronic ear infection in my left ear. I battled it all week up at Soltech, and it, I had it at Contact in the Desert. It went away. I thought everything was good. Came back about a week before Soltech, and I've been battling it, left ear. And I just think I need to recuperate and get this thing right. And I don't think getting on a plane and going up to the high altitudes there in Denver is the prudent, fresh thing to do. I did speak to David Wilcock today. I haven't spoke to Corey, but they're planning a very big event out there, and it's going to be amazing. But I just don't think, I spoke to Adrian today, and from Disclosure Fest, he's going to be doing the mass meditation out there, and I just feel bad. But it's just something that I'm battling right now, and I've got to get rid of it. So I'm going to miss everybody out there. Unless there's some crazy miracle, I don't think I'm going to make it out there to Dimensions of Disclosure. But you can go to dimensionsofdisclosure.com for tickets and info. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. We have over 899 archive shows. After today, it'll be 900. Unbelievable. I'm just going to change it to 900 right now because it just sounds so good. Right there, custom apps, Apple, Android, just $2 per month. Go to jimmychurchradio.com, click on the podcast banner. It's right there. You can also become a FADERNIGHT over in our membership section. It's very simple to do, where you will get the Bunker Cam. Hello, everybody. Commercial-free downloadable archives. And you can all go straight to the Game Changer and get autographed hats and T-shirts. Man, I'm looking at Twitter right now, and you guys are the best. Bigfoot mustache. All right, I'm not going to get distracted. You guys are flying in with these. If you want to look at everybody's pictures that they are posting, just go to Twitter. Hashtag F2B is the feed. Okay? All right. Don't forget all of our sponsors here. Life Change Tea, GetTheTea.com, Rivermoon Coffee, who was at Soltech, and not only provided the amazing Fade to Black blend for everybody that was there, But Juanita and Jeff, I'm looking at a picture of her now. Juanita and Jeff were there. It was amazing. And you know what? There's always next year. You're going to hear about Soul Tech for a long, long time. But there's always next year, of course. There will be a Soul Tech 2. That's what we should do. Like the Super Bowl, right? So it'll be Soul Tech with the Roman numeral 2, and then 3, and then we'll do the 4, which is the 1 and the V, and then the 5, it'll be the V. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Soul Tech 2 up at E-City. Jason Quit shot a documentary, started well, let me just say this. Jason took all of his gear up there, shot some amazing footage that is being wrapped up into a documentary. Now, I'm going to mention this tonight. I'm going to mention this later on in the broadcast. If you shot any footage up there, daytime, nighttime, comments, friends, whatever it is, and you think it's great, send it to Jason. Okay, you can send it to me, Jimmy at jimmychurchradio.com. I don't know Jason's email. I'm going to give it out right now over the air. Jason's email is jasonquit with 2 T's at gmail.com. That's it, Jason. It's been given out over the air. Send your footage or images if you took any pictures of anything at all that you want in the documentary that you think should be considered. Email it to myself, email it to Jason, and the footage that we have so far, looked at a rough cut today, it's amazing. We've got some really, really cool stuff. So there you go. Let's get this show cracking. Oh, did I mention a new Manna food storage? Jimmy 10. Any purchase over $100 gets you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. New Manna food storage. And, of course, Bearing Optics. And I was up there with my Bearing Optics all week. The stuff that we saw. I'll talk more about that in just a bit. Madonna today is 60 years old. Unbelievable, right? She is the number one artist of all time with the most hits on the Billboard Hot charts. Yeah, like 39 singles. Director James Cameron today is 64. And on this day in history, OTD in 1977, Elvis Presley dies of a heart attack at his home, Graceland, in Memphis, Tennessee, which takes me straight to my Fader fact. Elvis Presley is considered the best-selling individual artist of all time, with over 500 million records sold, and more added every single day. There you go. OTD and Fader Fact wrapped into one. Tonight is another Fader Night with John Rappaport and his No More Fake Newsroom Live. Call-in numbers are 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. Tonight is our Soul Tech E-SETI 2018 recap special event. We're going to run through, literally, without exaggeration, hundreds of images on Twitter. Okay, hashtag F2B, head over there. Hashtag F2B is the feed, and you can check it out throughout the show tonight. And there you go. All right. So tonight is our official 900th broadcast. With that, I will toast with this River Moon Coffee Fade to Black blend. Got to, right? I should be doing some chilled vodka. 900 shows. Now, over the years, the numbering of the shows has altered a little. Some shows repeated the number, mistakes, right? Didn't fix it. Some were split in two. That's right. So the actual number, and other issues, by the way, and the actual number is probably around 910 broadcasts. But who's counting, right? Tonight is 900. We started to keep, officially, we started to keep real numbers back around show number 200 or so, somewhere in there, we started to take things a little more serious. But who thought that, we would be around 5 years later and doing show number 900? Not me. Well, I thought we would. I hoped that we would. But seriously, 900 is an awfully big number. And when you kick this thing that is Fade to Black off, and you're plugging along, show number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 900, you don't even think about it. But here we are. And 1,000 is right around the corner. And I have to ask myself, how did we get here? Honestly, I have no idea. When I look back at our show list and the names of who we have interviewed, I'm truly amazed about who they were and how many that I have completely forgotten about. It's all a blur. It's not intentional. It's not. But when you do this many shows, back to back to back, week after week, month after month, year after year, it's actually become, in my mind, one big, long broadcast. Couple of breaks in between. But it's never ending, and I love it. I have forgotten more than I remember. This past week, we spent 7 straight days up at ECETI for Soul Tech, and I was able to sit down and talk with the FADERNIGHTs. And it really put things in perspective for me. Sure, everybody was volunteering to me their favorite show. Hey, come up, hey Jimmy, we've never met. I'm Bob from Waukegan, and this is my wife, Michelle. And, I wanted to talk to you about your show, blah, blah, blah. And it was amazing. And there were a couple of duplicates. There were. But for the most part, everyone had their own interview that moved them, motivated them. And the trip down memory lane really got me thinking about how we happened to just hit our stride. And I'm not sure when it happened. It's this gradual thing that goes on. It's very gradual. But we hit our stride. You see, Fade to Black goes through ebbs and flows. Gobekli Tepe and lost history in Egypt and time travel and UFOs and Bigfoot and Mandela effect and life after death and dreams and parallel worlds and space, conspiracy, ghosts, the paranormal, supernatural, music, film, food, all that stuff. And each night we just do our thing, and we've kind of morphed into what we are today. Whatever motivates myself and the things that I find interesting, it's what we end up doing. Sometimes I'll do a week of something, and it's unintentional. It's just what we're researching at the time and what I'm reading. And the next thing you know, we're doing physics for a week or two, or we're doing time travel, or we end up doing Egypt for a week. It's just music. It's weird. Sometimes I'll do music shows for a week straight, or film and actors and comedians. And it's just whatever motivates me and Rita, right? And in doing that, hopefully, this show will resonate with you, and you'll be happy. You'll be put into a great mood, and you'll look forward to the next show. Remember, always remember this. I do the show for me. We do not, and I mean, we do not ever think that the next show will be what the audience wants. We don't look at things like that. We actually hope for that after the show airs, not before, right? We'll do a show and we'll wrap, and man, I hope everybody enjoyed that. But but we don't think about that before. Does that seem strange? Well, it's not really if you think about it. You do a show that makes you happy, and if you do it enough, over time, you'll find an audience. The audience will find you. Look at it this way. If a musician is writing a song, and that musician is thinking, air quotes here, this is going to be a song that everybody will love. It's going to be a hit. End quote. Well, that song ain't going to be a hit. It's not. Guaranteed. The hits that resonate with everyone are songs that were written from the heart, personal. Written by the artist for the artist. It's nothing more than that. If you think about Van Halen, Led Zeppelin, the Beatles, the Eagles, even Eminem or Alanis Morissette, Ice Cube, all wrote about their life and experiences. Could be a party song, could be a happy song, could be a down song, could be a love song. Doesn't matter. But they're writing about what motivates them. Their experiences, their emotions. Right? Think about Van Gogh. Van Gogh painted for himself. That's it. It only came after when his paintings resonated with everybody. But he didn't paint for the world. He wasn't doing that just, I'm going to sell 1 million of these. Right? No. Now, I'm not putting Fade to Black up there with the greatest artists in broadcast of our time or of all time. No. Quite the opposite. Seriously, I'm in touch with reality. But what I am saying is that when each of the Fadernauts spoke to me about their favorite shows, those were all the shows that I wanted to do for me. And the fact that they were picked by them was the bonus. Because they were all my favorites too. I did them for me. So I guess that we're doing something right. Seriously, think about this. Naming the artists that you know and their songs and art puts it all in perspective, so you can maybe understand what made their stuff so great. It was done for them, not you. And the fact that you emotionally connect to it is the bonus. You get it? Of course you do. Tonight's going to be our 900th show. A little milestone, I get that for sure. But tonight, I'm going to do this show for me, for Rita. A show where I can just sit and tell everyone about our trip to Soul Tech at East Edney Ranch. It's like sitting around a campfire, with all of you, my friends and family. And if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. But at least it'll make me happy. We went almost 5 straight years. 5 without a break. Little days off here and there. We look forward to those. But 5 straight years. This December will be our fifth anniversary, going into our 6th year. So imagine that for a second. You have a job, right? Imagine going 5 years, working 5, 6, 7 days a week for 5 years without a break, without a vacation. Well, we did just that. And I have a feeling, and this is it's my Pandora's box. I have a feeling tonight is the beginning of 5 more years. No breaks. And that's how you do it. You just keep your foot on the gas. What Rita and I do, and I talked about this so much, is that we study, we research, we get motivated, we get intrigued, we get into one researcher or author or personality, and we get into them, and want to have them on the show. We want to figure them out. We want to ask them questions. We want to figure out stuff. And Rita and I do this for ourselves. And that connection with you is how it works. That's the magic. And that's how we got here. So many times, it's almost a daily occurrence. I'll get an email. I'll talk to somebody. I'll meet somebody in public. It happened over and over again this past week up at ECETI. It happens all the time where somebody will come up and say, hey, I'm starting a podcast. What's the advice? Well, have you ever done this before? No. Okay. All right. Well, you need to find yourself. And probably the hardest lesson to learn for anybody that's aspiring to kick off this type of career, in radio or journalism and having fun and podcast, the magic for the audience is them listening to you. You will always make the mistake of trying to be somebody that you are not. That's it. Don't do that. Don't fall into that trap. Do the show for you. Do what interests you. And then they'll come and find you. And it's a hard lesson. It is really, really hard. But once you do, and you hit your stride, magic happens. It becomes easy. It becomes fun. You don't have to stress. And that's where we are. So that was my answer to my own question. How did we get here? It's a long road. It's a long process. But we have hit our stride. The show is what it is. And it's going to be this way for a long time to come. Tonight is show number 900. I want to thank all of you for being here with us. And when I come back after this short break, we will be joined by the one and only John Rappaport and his No More Fake newsroom live. And then after that, it's our Soul Tech Recap special event. We'll be taking your phone calls. Pictures are going to be posted up on Twitter, hashtag F2B, if you want to go and check it out in real time during the show. I'm yours, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. This is Fade to Black, and I'll be right back with John Rappaport. Stay with us.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
What can I say about the most popular tea on the internet? And what do customers say about Life Change Tea at getthetea.com? A lot. But by federal law, we at getthetea.com cannot make claims to how this product can enhance your health. We cannot even post our testimonies without being in compliance. So how do we get past the hump? Try our products at getthetea.com and see for yourself. You can send us a testimony, but we just can't post it. Bummer. Our products are GMO-free and organic. We pride ourselves in being the best we can be, and we urge you to take charge of your health. We're 11 years strong, and many of our customers have shared their successes with friends and family. Protect your colon. Log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Getthetea.com. Getthetea.com.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, The Planet.
Win big with KGRA this summer. Tickets and hotel accommodations to the biggest conferences, autographed books and DVDs, chances to win all-inclusive conference cruises, and private dinners with your favorite KGRA hosts. Click the contest tab at kgraradio.com for your chance to win big this summer. Your contact for the best alternative talk radio on the planet. kgraradio.com.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. Tonight is our Soul Tech ECETI 2018 recap special event. John Rappaport was here. He is gone. I think we've lost our phone lines with John back east. So therefore, we're just going to run straight into the show. If you were at ECETI for Soul Tech, if you were there and you attended, I'm going to open up the phone lines, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. We are running images through Twitter tonight in real time, hashtag F2B, if you want to check out any of the images that everybody's posting. We're going to run through a couple hundred photographs and images tonight and possibly even some video footage. Okay, so we'll get all of that up there too as well. And we shot what we're calling the class photo, the graduation photo shoot. And so that's been posted up on YouTube. So I'll get that link up there to everybody as well. And we have some drone footage from that too that didn't get it into the video. I didn't get the drone footage in time. But that maybe I'll re-edit the video and we'll get it up there with the drone footage because it's really, really cool. Of course, it'll be in the documentary with Jason Quitt. Now, I'm going to start off here. On Tuesday, we headed up, and so our day started off like this. We had to get up. Our flight was at 7, which means we got up at 4 and got ready to go. 4 a.m., that is, and managed to get to the airport on time, got to Burbank. And all of that was pretty uneventful. But this is what we had to do. So we flew up, we landed in Portland, and had to then get over to the RV place and pick up the RV. And we got a pretty nice RV. We got it from RVs to Go up there. And if you're ever needing an RV, just go to RVs to Go. Talk to Grant up there. He's real cool. Anyway, so we pick up the RV and we take off. The first thing we did is we stopped at Target. Yes, I just plugged Target to pick up all of our supplies and everything that we would need for the RV and for our week up there at Soltech. So we do that, and then we manage to hit the road. What we ended up doing is the main bridge at Hood River was under some work. They're doing some welding, and it got closed down to one lane and stuff. So we ended up taking, and I'm not making this up, you can look it up online, the Bridge of the Gods. That's right. We took the Bridge of the Gods. So we headed up 84 and hooked over and jumped on the Bridge of the Gods. And what was amazing at this point of the trip, I really want to note this to everybody. When we exited off of 84, we were the only car. And as we headed towards the toll booth at the Bridge of the Gods, there was nobody behind us, nobody in front of us. So we pay the toll, we head across the Bridge of the Gods alone. And that turned out to be our drive, 2 hours up to ECETI. There was nobody behind us and nobody in front of us for 2 straight hours. That was pretty amazing to go through. So we jumped on the 14, which goes along the Columbia River there, and drive through. And there's lots of really old tunnels, and you go through probably a half a dozen of those. And you go right up the river, through the mountains, very scenic, very beautiful. This is one of the most beautiful parts of the United States. And to do that in a nice, leisurely manner in an RV with the one that you love, it doesn't get any better. It was really, really cool. But nobody behind us, so no pressure, no weirdness, nobody in front of us to slow us down, nothing like that. And it was pretty amazing. So we get through that section of the trip, and then we jump on the 141, which takes us up to Trout Lake, and that section of the road is only about 20 miles from Hood River up to ECETI. Very quick. Again, alone. Nobody in front of us, nobody in back. And there it is. And we head over this one last hill, and there it is, Mount Adams, right in front of us. And we went through, I guess it's the Trout Lake High School, or whatever it is, which is right next to ECETI. And we knew that we had arrived. And we pulled into ECETI, and there we were. I could not wait to get out of the RV. We pull up to ECETI, we jump out, and there's James and Dana. Dana Lund was already there. Quite a few FADERNIGHts. I was really surprised that first day had gotten there early. And so anyway, we set up the RV pretty quick and just couldn't wait to just get out there and hang out with everybody. It's only at this point, it's like 1 in the afternoon, 2 in the afternoon. Everybody started to arrive, and we had dinner. And I want to say this, the electricity was everywhere, was absolutely everywhere. The feeling that you get the moment, and everybody goes through the same thing, but you pull into ECETI and you get out of your car and you put your feet on the ground, and it starts. It starts right then. Starts right then. We brought with us our night vision. We brought the Bearing Optics, the Area 51, the Gen 3 Pluses. We had that. We also brought some Celestron stargazing binoculars. We brought tripods, and we were ready. We were good to go. So anyway, we make the rounds and look at everything. The facilities were already set up. The tents were there. The outdoor classrooms, all of that was there. They were prepping. All the sound and lighting people were there, getting ready inside the conference room. And it seemed like from that point that all systems were go, that the event from the second that we took off from Burbank all the way through to our arrival at ECETI, completely drama-free. Drama-free. Nothing went wrong. You expect things to go wrong, but nothing went wrong. And we immediately, after dinner, and it got dark, and we're hanging out, we headed out to the Field of Dreams. Now, this first night, I had about probably a dozen pretty significant things happen in the sky over the week. Okay, pretty significant. This first night, one happened, and that was the U-turn UFO. And I thought at that point, if nothing else happens for the week, this was pretty amazing. And this is what happened. Billy Carson and he hadn't, had a sighting before, and which was really cool. He had something happen when he was younger, but he had never had like a real sighting. Certainly nothing as an adult. Only one thing happened earlier in his life, which he told us about. So he steps out on the Field of Dreams. This first night, I'm going to tell you the end of the night first. We had somewhere on Tuesday night, somewhere between 50 and 80 sightings. The first night, it was on fire. On fire. It was absolutely incredible. And Billy Carson says to me, he goes, hey, so you think I'm going to see a UFO? Now, I'm going to say this in real time, okay? I'm going to say this in real time. This is how it went down. He's got the night vision. He's looking up at the stars. Wow, this is amazing. I said, yeah, it is. Think I'm going to see a UFO? Well, give me the night vision. He hands me the goggles. I look up. I said, here we go. There's one right there. What? Right there. I light it up with a laser. I hand him back the night vision, and his reaction was priceless. Because I know what happened the first time you see something moving across the sky in the stars. You can't see it, and then you look up and you see it. With the night, it is an epiphany. It's a life-changing thing. And Billy had it at that very moment. And he didn't have to wait but 5 seconds. Happened right away. All right. About 15 minutes later was the U-turn UFO. Now, let me describe this to you. We have some of this videotaped. The first night and the second night were all laid out with James Gilliland and Peter Maxwell Slattery. And some of those videos have been posted. We have tons more. And there you go. So anyway, the U-turn UFO starts out heading west over the trees. And it's coming at me. And I'm looking at it through the night vision. And this entire sighting lasted about 5 minutes. And it's kind of changing. It's going right to left. Okay, about every 10 seconds. So it's moving in one direction and then it's turning. And it's not like left, right, left, right. It's going forward, but it's going forward, turning every 10 seconds. Slight change in direction. And so it comes up over the trees. It's heading west. And it's coming towards us. And as I'm looking at it, it slowly starts to turn north. And before you know it, after about 2 minutes, it's now gone from heading east. Now it's going north to Mount Adams. It's going directly north. I'm tracking it in the night vision. I'm talking to everybody and telling them what's going on. And we're following it with the lasers. And it continues north for about a minute. And then it slowly starts to turn east. So now it's made like this giant U in the sky, upside down U, by the way. And as it starts to turn north again, it slows down and then stops. Stops right there in the sky and stays. It doesn't move. It kind of dimmed out a little bit and turned into a star. It didn't turn into a star, but it looks like a star. Now, I want you to understand what I just described to you. If I had not seen it and only saw it when it parked, well, it's just a star. You would never even go back and look at it a second time. It's just a star in the sky. But this did this complete U-turn, and like I said, it lasted about 5 minutes and then just parked. If I would have just come out 5 minutes later, I would have missed it. It was dramatic. If that was all I saw all week, it's one of the best sightings I've ever had. It turns out that the U-turn UFO was down at the bottom of the list for our week at ESETI. We saw that many amazing sightings, and what ended up happening later on in the week was totally extraordinary. And I'll get to all of that tonight. So, back to this. This first night, Tuesday night, out on the Field of Dreams, 50 to 80. We saw something just about every minute. There were things from the left, things from the right. So after the U-turn video, or after the U-turn UFO, behind us from the south, heading north, 3 ships appeared. And this ended up happening quite a few times over the week. 3, and I have never seen 3 at the same time heading in the same direction. No. And this was also captured on video, and it was posted by James Gilliland and Peter Maxwell Slattery. And those 3 were heading up and came up over the trees, and the lead one of the 3 totally not only flashed, but it was bright. And that was completely captured on video. You have to go and check it out. And you can hear myself and Rita and Billy Carson talking in the background as this is going on, because I'm watching it in night vision. James and Peter are shooting it in front of us. And I think this first night on the Field of Dreams, we had probably around 50 people. This was on Tuesday night. So these 3, as they're shooting across the sky, the lead one lit up my night vision, and Billy happened to see this. Very, very cool for him to be able to see all at once these 2 sightings. This you can go your whole life and never see anything like what we just saw in our first minutes on the Field of Dreams. It was absolutely incredible. The rest of the night, there were many more this night, but we were looking at stuff from the left, from the right. There were lights on Mount Adams. There were flashers that were happening. There was one visitor that hung out with us all week long, right in the middle of the cup of the Big Dipper, sat there and flashed and changed position inside, but would never leave the Big Dipper area, but it would stay right there kind of in a circle and change directions and stuff. A couple of nights I was there with Steve Murillo, and I think it was on Wednesday night. It flashed 29 times. I was there with Steve, Nancy, Lisa Frith was there till the wee hours of the morning. And that guy was our little friend that was right there in the Big Dipper for the entire week. Very, very cool. So that was the first night, and I was so happy for Billy Carson and everybody that was there. But this was Billy's not only his first trip to ESETI, but it was his first sightings like this, and he got it in mass. It never let up. So now, before I get to night 2, I've got a bunch of calls on hold. Let's go to caller number 1, area code 360. You're up first on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
This is John Ledford from Port Orchard, Washington.
Hey, John. How are you, man?
Doing good.
Have you recovered?
No.
What was and I got to hang out with John all week and his lovely wife up there at ECETI. And John, it was great to meet you. But I have to ask you, what was the highlight of your week up there?
I have to say Billy Carson. Just sitting down and talking with him. Just tapping his brain for the couple times a day I did. Just talking to him. So much knowledge.
What about sightings? What was your favorite sighting for the week?
I loved watching the mountain. Every night, the mountain just showed its craft taking off.
I know, and
I just love that.
And you've heard about that, so much over the years. But when you get there to ECETI and Mount Adams, and you actually see what is going on, up there, it's pretty amazing to watch, isn't it?
Yes. It's insane. It's like you guarantee it. It happens. I didn't even have night vision, and we were seeing it.
And there was one moment on Mount Adams, too, as well, John, I wanted to ask you about, when the beam of light was popping up out of the trees and, searching around the mountain. That was, I still can't explain it. What do you think that was?
I have no idea, but I did see it. I think it was just someone just saying hi to us.
And the other part of ECETI is that I want your take on this. So many things are going on up there, right? There's so much, right? There's portals, there's orbs, of course. There's stuff going on up in the sky in the mountain. And you've got the big footprints that we found, and and fairies, and all of this talk, but it all goes down up there, doesn't it?
It does. And for me, the biggest thing was my dad, who passed in 2009. When the band on Sunday played Wichita Lineman, I felt him come up and felt me in love during that whole song, even when they kind of messed up a little bit. And you told him, keep going. He was starting to leave, and he came back. I got up and floated right to him to let him know that I just had the best experience. I can't even describe it. I'm feeling it again. It was just, and it's the place is just unreal. I want to go back. I want to live there.
I know, right? I wonder if James...
It took me 2 hours to leave.
I know. You know what would be cool there is to... maybe build your own yurt, right?
Yes.
Your getaway yurt, and you just go there anytime you want and just go there and hang out. But yeah, that would be a great place to have a home where you could just go up at any time and just pull in and head out to the Field of Dreams.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
I'm still talking about going back to this year. Do you want to go back in late September? And she's like, no. She has to get surgery on her ankle now, so we won't be able to. But we were talking about till we found out.
What about you didn't mention 2 things that were pretty special for me up there. Well, you sort of did with the Wichita Lineman, but the food and the music the last night. Awesome. Yeah, the food was awesome, wasn't it?
To Latina Teresa, oh my! Did she not just lay it down? I mean, I've never seen anyone use a flute. I mean, Gillian, that's what Jeff Volto has nothing on her. That was just beautiful. And then a choir within. I mean, there's some metal. That was great. Meeting him was also a highlight.
And choir within lit it up, by the way. And to have, I don't know if they've ever had a concert there at ECETI. I don't know. But I thought that was a really great idea from Dana and Rita. And hats off to Sherry, too, as well, who helped us with the production up there. But to have a concert like that go down, I thought it was just so cool. And then we went right out to the Field of Dreams after that, and it just happened again. It was just an amazing, amazing week, and it was so much fun hanging out with you and talking UFOs and music for 7 days. I really enjoyed it, man. It was so much fun to hang out with you, John.
What are the highlights of the week, though? Crimes against humanity.
No, Cards Against Humanity.
Cards Against Humanity.
Which turned out to be a complete crime against humanity. But yeah, that was
so much fun.
That was pretty special, wasn't it?
It was. It was so much fun.
Thank you so much, John, and I can't wait.
Thank you.
We'll do it again soon, and it will be Soul Tech number 2, and we'll see you up there. Thank you so much, John.
You're welcome. You have a good night.
And with that was John Ledford. He was just so cool. With that, I'm going to take a quick break. This is Fade to Black. I'll be right back. I'll continue with your phone calls. We are doing a complete Soul Tech recap. If you were there, give me a call. And also, Twitter. All of the photographs are being posted right there. Hashtag F2B. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'll be right back. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Does your basement or crawl space have a damp, musty smell? Well, watch out! That's a sign of too much moisture and not enough ventilation. And that can mean increased mold growth and the buildup of harmful toxins and gases. Don't bother with a dehumidifier. It just circulates the same unhealthy air. Now there's a better way to remove these dangers and odors. It's with the computerized Wave Moisture Control Unit that reduces moisture and expels pollutants.
We replaced our old dehumidifier with the Wave unit, and in only 3 weeks, our basement is dry and the musty smell is gone.
Wave units require no maintenance, no buckets of water or filters, and costs only pennies a day to run. Breathe better, live healthier with an affordable, no-maintenance Wave unit. Call 888-717-WAVE, 888-717-WAVE, or visit dryhealthyhome.com. Dryhealthyhome.com.
Ride the wave. Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA Digital Broadcast Station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to jimmychurchradio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. Yes. We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
Ancient Life Oil. Life-changing. The real oil. CBD is truly Ancient Life Oil from the source. This oil has no psychoactive effect and is also legal in all 50 states. When you're healthy, you're happy. The truth about this wonderful plant is that it wants to give back to mankind life, longevity, and happiness. Ancient Life Oil are golden grade, all organic, non-GMO, and infused with high-quality liquid coconut oil. It's simple. Just go to ancientlifeoil.com today. That's ancientlifeoil.com. The best, purest, organic, and non-GMO CBD in the world. Go Beckley Tappy. The statements made regarding these products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Please consult your healthcare professional about potential interactions or other possible complications before using any product.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. We are back. Took 2 weeks off. Our first broadcast. Man, our first time off in almost 5 years. It's our Soul Tech recap special event. We just did Soul Tech up for a week in ECETI, up in Washington at ECETI Ranch. It was absolutely amazing. Now, I just wrapped day one. I want to get quickly into day two and jump through and just say this. The day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, all of that went down. It was all good. We went straight back to the Field of Dreams, and I know that everybody wants to know about the sightings that happened up there. Wednesday night, one of the most dramatic sightings ever went down. We got it on video, by the way. And let me say this before I go further. Billy and I both had night vision, Billy Carson and I, so we were watching this. And in night vision, it's green, at least the ones that I have. It's green. So, but this sighting was also green with the naked eye. And I'm watching this craft, and it came up from the south, from behind us, and we turn around, and Billy and I picked it up right away. And it was a green diamond-shaped object, and you could clearly see it in the night vision. It's diamond shape. And seconds after, we started to watch it, and it was a moment where everybody was screaming on the Field of Dreams. It lit up. And when it lit up, I have described it as it was like an explosion, because I had never seen anything in my night vision light up the screen like that. Just totally flashed us. And if that wasn't dramatic enough, about 10 seconds later, it did it again. Equally as bright, too. Just lit up everything. And to hear everybody scream and, that was just unbelievable. And we tracked it going north over Mount Adams, and it did it 6 more times. Now, it was miles and miles away from us when it did it the 6 other times. So whoever was underneath it at that point was witnessing what we saw as it flew right over us. But that wasn't the coolest part of this sighting. I went up to Rita about 10 minutes later, and she said, "Did you see it?" I said, "What?" "The green diamond." And I said, "Yes." It was green, and she said it was green. It was a green diamond, and she saw it with her naked eye, and as it flew over, and she saw it flash. And I believe, with the way Rita described it to me, she saw the second flash. She didn't see the first flash. She didn't see it flash twice. But what was interesting was that she saw a green diamond-shaped craft. I saw it green in the night vision because it was night vision. But that topped, seriously topped, and we have that also caught on video. And we'll publish it soon. It might already be up on the ECETI site. That topped the U-turn video. And on Wednesday night, again, just like Tuesday night, we probably saw 50-plus craft. So many were happening at the same time. You're looking up and they are going left and right and up and down at the same time as you're looking at it through night vision. Very rare to see that. You see it from time to time, but this was happening all night long. Now, satellites, let's be very clear here. With our satellite tracking programs that we have, there were no satellites in the area. That's the first thing. Second, most of them are around the equator, and there's 17,000 satellites up there, but most of them are in a geostationary orbit. They're not moving around. So you have that part. And the other part of it is you're not going to a polar orbit on something which is going north to south or south to north is very rare. It's not that many satellites doing it. And to have these objects going from north to south and south to north right over ECETI, what are the odds of that in a polar orbit? No ISS flybys the entire week, by the way. I don't know why. It was just the timing of it. But I get ISS alerts on my cell phone with my program, so I know exactly when the ISS is flying over. And for some reason up at ECETI, it only happened like twice the entire week. So there were no ISS flybys while we were out there on the Field of Dreams. So you can take that off. But what satellites are crisscrossing themselves up in the sky? What in three directions at the same time? That is nuts. That is nuts. So many were flying, tailing each other as well. We had dozens of those, over the week. Absolutely incredible. All right, I've got tons of callers on hold. Let's go to area code 425. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Oh, Jimmy.
How you doing, Inquire?
I'm doing good, man, and I just want to say thank you to you and Rita and everyone involved again. That was the best trip I've ever had in my life.
Thank you for saying that, number one. Number two, thank you for attending. Number three, thank you so much for your concert and CD release that you did on Sunday night. That was, man, that was something to behold. That was totally, totally cool. And, of course, thank you for gnoming. Okay, so the photographs have been put out there. I got up in the morning, did my thing, whatever, and walked away from the RV. I come back 15 minutes later, and the RV is surrounded by probably 25, 30, 40, 50 gnomes. And I was blown away, by the way. And I walk around and, surrounded our RV. And I didn't know how they got there, but the point is, I just walked away for a few minutes, and I came back and they were there. And it was so cool. It was so fun to have that happen. It turns out, I find out later, and I was wondering who did it. It was Inquire Within. And very creative thing to do, and so much fun. You added so much to the week, and I hope it was as special for you as it was for everybody else.
Oh, it definitely was, man. And so one of the first things I got to tell you is that the gnoming has only just begun, Jimmy.
The gnoming has just begun. Hey,
you, yeah.
Okay, all right. We'll get back to that, but before we run out of time, you had a very, very special trip on your way to ECETI. Tell us about what happened. Give us the short version of it, because so much went down. But your 3-4 hour drive turned out to be 10 hours. And we don't have that kind of time on the show. But tell us about the disappearing car.
Okay, so to make it kind of quick, so I was going for the quickest route for me to get to Soltec, because I live just outside of Seattle, is through the Guilford-Pinchette National Forest. And that forest, which I looked up today because of the story, is known for having a vanishing lake. I'll just leave it at that for that part. But basically, I'm about an hour away from Soltec. Real stoked. I was going to be there in the afternoon to see everything. And then there's a big road closed sign right there in the middle of the forest. And so I was trying to see what the alternative route was, and it was going to make me have to drive out of the forest into Portland and up underneath. Didn't want to do that. So there was a van in front of the sign, and we got some kids in here. You got some kids in your thing? Are you hearing this?
Yes. No.
Well, I'm hearing a bunch of kids running around right now.
Okay, it's one of the calls on hold. Keep going.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Anyways, there was a van sitting out front of the road closed sign, and there was this nice couple in it. We drive up to them, and it's this German couple. And the guy, he's saying that, he didn't want to take the detour, so he was just going to move the sign and go for it. So we were like, all right, we'll follow behind you. And just a couple minutes down the road, we both looked away. I don't even remember what we looked at because this next part tripped me out so much. But we looked away, and it had to be within 5-10 seconds because I'm driving and not trying to crash. We looked back, the van's gone.
The van is gone.
Yeah, and there's nowhere else it could go. So I was trying to rationalize it. So I speed up. I'm like, okay, maybe they went around the turn that's up there or something. So I go around the turn, and then there's a big straightaway. Like, there's no way that van could have just blasted off like that. So me and my girlfriend, we were kind of weirded out by that. I had a funny feeling, so I just did a 60-point turn to get turned around on that forest road and got out of there. We get back to the road closed sign, and there's another car waiting there with another couple our age. And they're saying the same thing, that, they think they're just going to go for it. And so for me, I just wanted to prove to myself kind of that I wasn't crazy. So I was like, all right, yeah, we'll follow behind you, because I was just thinking I was tripping myself out. And so we follow behind them. And then around the same spot, a couple minutes down the road, a couple dirt bikes come flying past us, going opposite direction of us. So my girlfriend and I, we kind of, our heads follow the dirt bikes. We look back in front of us, and this big bright red car that we were following is not there anymore. And so that's when I really started tripping. So I sped up. I was like, okay, we have to find this car. There's no way this is happening. So I went a little ways down the road, like further than the first time, just trying to prove to myself that, okay, nothing happened. And we kept going and going, and eventually we both had just such a weird, uncomfortable feeling about that whole situation, where I started questioning reality in all sorts of ways. So we got the heck out of there.
Unbelievable. But you arrive, and everything was good. The pictures, okay, there are some pictures of the RV. I don't know if they've been posted yet, but Inquire Within wasn't done with the garden gnomes. Oh no. There's one more picture that will make it up on the Twitter. It might have already been posted, but yeah. So when I see it, I'll let everybody know that was round 2 with Inquire Within. Thank you so much, man. It was great hanging out with you. And we'll do it again very, very soon. The CD has dropped, and we will get information out there to everybody about that too as well. Thank you so much, man. It was a great week with you.
And the gnomes are coming.
Don't make me nervous. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, man. Bye.
Inquire Within. Incredible week with him. And the album is absolutely amazing. And he debuted it up there. Great concert on Sunday night with Inquire Within. I think we even have some video captured of that too as well. Okay, with that, let's go to area code 406. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
How you doing, Jimmy?
And who is this?
This is Alan Wayner.
Hey, Alan. How are you, man?
What's up, Jimmy?
Fader 1 and Fader 2.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing week up there at Soul Tech.
Oh, man. Totally amazing.
What was the
still going through it.
Well, now, before we move on, Alan's sons were with Jax, Sean and Evan.
That's right.
Sean and Evan, Fader 1 and Fader 2. You've seen them in all of the photographs. They were with Jax, also Phoenix, Holly and Mark's son, Phoenix. The four of them are out chasing down grasshoppers in the field, and found a set of 4 Bigfoot prints out there. And how cool is it that those 4 who were out there looking for Bigfoot, the entire week, and they
all night, every night,
and they managed to nail it, didn't they?
They did.
Well,
that was their goal. That was their mission. We went out there, trying to find him, and they found his tracks, which was awesome.
I still can't believe I saw what I saw. I mean, I seriously cannot believe that I saw a set of 4, and they were like 5.5 feet apart.
I went up there with Peter Maxwell, and he videoed it with my shoe right next to it, and I got a size 11, and it was humongous. And I'm a pretty big guy, and I couldn't even. That dirt was so hard and dry, like my foot didn't even make a slightest imprint on that dirt.
I know. I was blown away by that because, look, I'm not a small guy. I'm not. Neither are you. You're bigger than I am.
Yeah.
And,
a little bit, yeah.
And a little bit. You're but you and I, we were out there. We didn't the slightest dent. All we did was leave shoe prints in the dust. So to think about what could impact that dirt and make a 2.5 inch deep footprint. It's mind blowing to think about the size and weight of whatever that creature was. 'Cause that was a big dude.
Yeah.
Now, what was the highlight as far as the night vision each night, heading out on the Field of Dreams? So many sightings all week long. For you, what was your highlight?
I think mine was last night. I was sitting there with Meg, and all the kids were out playing in the back by the pond, looking for Bigfoot, playing hide and go seek and stuff, and everybody was still rocking out in the auditorium. And so we went out there, and it was just getting dark, and we were sitting there by ourselves, and here comes this light over the top of us, and it was flashing us, boom, boom, and we're like, everybody's cheering. There wasn't too many people out there. There was a few, but like, do it again, and it did it again, and it went right to the top of Mount Adams. And it did one last flash. It was like orange, and it just stopped. And we're like, oh, come back. And all of a sudden, it turned back on, and it looked like it was coming straight, like, back towards us.
Now,
it just went
I heard a few people talk about this, but that was during the concert. So there wasn't that many people out on the Field of Dreams. You just happened to be out there.
Yeah, we just went out there. We're just talking, chilling, and, kids were playing, so... just went out there, and it was exciting. Everybody that was out there was just cheering, hooting, and hollering. You were over at the fire pit when that happened, and then it went straight down towards the bottom. And then you remember the old ride at the carnivals, the Gravitron, the spaceship that used to turn around.
Right.
It looked like that, but just like if you're looking at it from the front, down on the bottom, and it was just lighting up. And here comes James. James comes running out of his house with his night vision camera. He starts filming it, and then it started a pretty good ruckus. Everybody came out there, was cheering, hooting, and hollering. But yeah, that was my best skywatch. I got to put the goggles on once, and I mean that's just amazing. It's just a whole nother world when you look into those. I mean, if you can see them with your naked eye, that's awesome. But to put those on and see it. It's just incredible.
How magical is ECETI? What do you think is going on?
I don't know. It's beautiful. It's just, I mean, you just feel so at peace there, so loved. I mean, you can go up to anybody that's there. You've never met them ever in your life, but you can go sit right next to them like it's your brother, like it's your sister, like it's your mom, your dad. I mean, and just have the best conversation and just let it all out. There's nothing to hide. You're not ashamed or scared or feared, nothing. It's just beautiful.
There's something else that I find very special. I want your comment on this. When you get there and, your expectations are high, and I get that, and I understand that. But to turn around and have adults living this experience and talking about it and learning and all of that, but to have the 4 kids that were up there, I'm talking about your 2 sons, and Phoenix and Jax, to be able to run around a 75-acre ranch like that in the middle of the summer and just blow it out and just have a great time and then turn around and find Bigfoot prints. Does it get any more cooler than that?
No, it doesn't, and when we're driving there, this is our second year. When we go past the little store, we usually stop there, get whatever we forgot or something, get a little snack, and then head up. You just like going to like your favorite rock concert, your favorite football game. You're just jacked, you're pumped, and you're nervous and you're antsy and you're shaking and you're just like biting your fingernails. And then as soon as you put in that code and you go through that gate, it's just like, you feel like you're home.
I know, right?
You're there.
That is the best part. When you make that turn, right up to the gate, and you're looking at the signage, you're like, okay, here we go. Time to buckle up, kiddies. And there was, I wanted to share this with you. I don't think I told you what happened. So, I was pretty tired, right? Rita and I were like everybody up there. It's a 16-hour day. You're getting up at 8. You're having breakfast. You're going to bed at midnight, right? Your River Moon Coffee. And you're getting to bed at 12, 1 in the morning. You're getting 6-7 hours sleep, and you're doing it all over again, 16 hours, right? 16 hours. And so after 3, 4, 5 days of that, woof, right? Well, anyway, Phoenix comes up to me. Phoenix comes up, and this is what he says. I'm sitting at the fire pit, and I think I was alone. Somebody might have been with me, but I'm just trying to, wrap my head around how exhausted I am. And he comes up and he goes, he whispers in my ear. He didn't want anybody to, hey, Jimmy, we found a Bigfoot print. Can you come check it out? And I turn, and this is what I said, the doofus Jimmy. How far is it? Right?
Yeah.
I didn't want him to say it's behind the pond over by the creek on the other side of the cow pasture, 18 miles away. He goes, no, it's right over here.
Those kids must have walked 100 miles there.
Oh, they did, no doubt.
If they would have had one of those counters, they're probably over 100.
And so he goes, no, it's right there in the Field of Dreams. I'm like, what? So I get up and I walk, and that's how it happened. And I get up and I walked over there. Walking behind him, he was so deliberate. I could tell he was wanting to lead me there. And my energy, my adrenaline started to come back. And I thought, oh my goodness. And when I walked up and looked down, whoa, sneeze out of nowhere.
Bless you.
When I walked up and I saw Evan and Sean standing there with Jax looking down at the print, and when I walked up, I knew immediately that there was a Bigfoot print there. Now, at that point, there was only one. We didn't find the other 3 yet, right? And I looked down at this print, and it was, there's no other way to describe it. It was a Bigfoot print, and it was big. It was 18 inches minimum, 18 inches.
Yeah.
Toes, heel, perfect, mashed down the grass, the dirt, and I could not believe my eyes. I could not believe what I was looking at. I couldn't. I still can't believe it. I cannot believe it.
I can't either.
And here I am, Mr. Bigfoot skeptic dude, waiting for something like this. And when I finally saw it, I got nothing. I got nothing. I can't. I got nothing. I mean, how do you even try to describe that to everybody, to let them know the feeling that you're having at that moment? I've got nothing. I don't have a way to describe it. I really don't.
You just got to go there for yourself and experience. There's so much. Like I'm still going through my pictures and my videos, just like, and some of it, you don't even really want to share. You're just like, man, that's mine. I want to keep that.
Yeah, I know. I did the same thing. I
got that. That's mine. That was for me, And another thing there, though, sleeping, when you're talking about that, like, my boys slept good there, like really good, like dreaming, and I know you mentioned that before, but man, when you fall asleep there, you're asleep. I mean, and I remember one night looking over at Sean, and we had the light on in the tent, just in case, Bigfoot was creeping up, so they weren't too scared. But I looked over at him, and he had the biggest smile on his face, and he was laughing, but he was sleeping. And, and just, yeah.
Yeah, I know. And
it's awesome.
And I'll say this before I let you go. Every night, I slept. When I fell asleep, I woke up in the exact same position in the morning. I was out. I was just so tired. I was out. When you wake up, one arm's asleep and your shoulder's hurting because you just pounded 8 hours on one shoulder, didn't even roll over. That's how tired I was each night. Man, Alan, thank you so much, and give my best to the family.
You.
Fader 1 and Fader 2, Evan and Sean, those guys are troopers, and they helped make some history once again up at ECETI. And those guys are rock stars, and please give my best to them.
Thank you. I will, and I love you, and Rita. You guys are amazing, and I just when we got home Tuesday, real quick, when we woke up Wednesday morning, the boys go, "Can we go back to ECETI?"
That's exactly what they were supposed to say, Alan. Give my best to the family.
I will. Love you, Ruff. Thank you.
It's Fade to Black, Soul Tech at ECETI 2018 recap special. I'll be right back.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously, go Beckley Tappy.
Do you worry a lot? Whether you're a college student, busy professional, parent, or grandparent, ongoing stress and elevated levels of the stress hormone cortisol can rob your memory, your health, and your future. Now you can combat the effects of stress and anxiety while improving your memory and recall at the same time with the dietary supplement Calm and Clever. Studies show that the ingredients in Calm and Clever reduce cortisol by as much as 30% in 1 to 2 weeks. Call 1-800-758-8746 or calmandclever.com.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
Hi folks, what can I say without making claims? CBD is truly the buzzword for health. What does it do? Government institutions will not allow me to say what this wonderful oil does for us. But I can say it's non-GMO and organic. I can say it's 0.003 THC, which in plain English means you won't get high. There are those that want to squash your freedom to buy natural products. Fight back with your purchase power. In the end, it is you that takes care of your health. Go to ancientlifeoil.com. One more time, ancientlifeoil.com.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. How you doing? This is our 900th show. 900 tonight. Fell on a Fader night, and it's our first night back after 2 weeks. You gotta love synchronicities, right? And this is our Soul Tech ECETI 2018 recap special. We had so many things that happened, and we haven't even gotten to Soul Tech yet. It's just the first 2 nights that we were there. It was just absolutely incredible. The sightings and the Bigfoot footprints. One was first found out by the ECETI gate. That kicked off. We made a cast of that. I've got pictures of it, and also it's in the video documentary. And then we found the 4 other prints after that. And I want to let everybody know that these 4 footprints, they went in a curve, long curve. They were 5.5 feet apart, exactly, each one. We didn't find the other 3 at first. We found the first one. And then we probably had 10 or 15, maybe 20 people out there at that point when we found the first print. We cleared everybody back, started looking, and then we found the other 3. And it was a left footprint, then right, then left, then right, curving out. But we didn't find anything after that and anything before it. Just these 4 prints going in a curve. That was tremendous. And to see him that many feet apart, so deep in the ground, absolutely fascinating. So there you go. Let's get straight back to the phone. So much more to talk about. Let's go to Eric, Awakening Man. Eric, how you doing?
I'm doing fabulous. I got 2 words for you, Jimmy. Thank you. That was fantastic.
Thank
you. Very
you.
Unique. Very, man, I loved it. I'm just so grateful. Very grateful. Very grateful.
Well, you attend conferences all over the country. That's all you do. You're constantly in your car. You're out there researching and going around. But how was Soul Tech for you compared to all the other conferences that you attend?
I mean, it encompassed not just first of all, the knowledge that was being shared there was beyond what I've heard in standard conferences. I mean, it was advanced knowledge. It was it was exhausting to absorb. And then the fact that we're in an ECETI where there's just this realm of special, unique, I don't know what it is exactly. I haven't figured that out yet, but it is definitely unique. You just combined everything into one conference, and you really can't do more than that. I don't know. You can't top that. I mean, you could do it again. You get more people out there. That'd be a blast, right? But it was fantastic.
I don't know about, see, this is, we've put a lot of thought to this. I don't know. I don't think we could handle more people, right? And see, this is we have to house. We just housed 200 people. fed 200 people breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So that's 600 meals per day. And you do that over 4 or 5 days. Now you're looking at 2,000, 3,000 meals, right?
Right.
And you have so much that goes into that behind the scenes logistically. It's a huge undertaking. So if we kicked it up to 225 or 250, now you're looking at 3,000, 4,000 meals, right? Another 50 campsites. It's a lot, man. It's a lot, and then we have to put
what I would do, Jimmy, I got to interrupt you, is I would bring next year, if you do it again, I'll bring the barbecues out there, and we'll just make tacos. I mean, we'll have taco meat, and that way we kind of cut down the expenses. We could get 250 in there. There's 50 faders that didn't make it this year that need to come. We need to have it. We got to have a part two, Soul Tech part two.
Oh yeah, part two. There was 1,000 Fadernauts that just didn't get a chance to go. We thought about doing a barbecue, right? And I thought about, what? Yeah, and we kicked it around. I thought, what a great idea. Then I thought to myself, feeding 200 people in a barbecue, or even 50. Oh man, but it's not a bad idea. I was thinking about that, digging out a big pit.
You could blend it in. You could blend it in there. You get someone to volunteer. I mean, you know what I mean. It's not hard to cook taco meat, but the point is you can have that going all day long. So if people just want a snack, $1 or $2 for a taco, and anyway, the bottom line is it was great. I mean, I hope you guys do it again. I really do, because I'll brag about it from now until then if you decide to do it.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now.
Eric, let's move on. What was the highlight sighting for you for the week?
Okay, so there's definitely, because I had the night vision, you had the night vision. I don't know if anybody else did, but I was looking in the sky, and I saw lights way up in the atmosphere going back and forth, left and right, up and over. I mean, obviously. But what's strange to me is that it got dark around 9, and then from about 9:30 to 10:30, there was a slew of activity. And then as soon as James went to bed, it kind of died down. And I think there's something to I really think James Gillian, he says he calls him, and I'm not going to doubt the guy. I think he does. And he manifested activity for an hour that I saw more in 1 hour than I've seen any time in Sedona or Joshua Tree, which I love. But I'm just saying, if you want to see activity, you need to get to Yosemite, because it's there. There's no doubt about it.
I couldn't believe we had just amazing stuff going off every single night. But that Tuesday night, that was off the hook, man. 50, 80. I mean, I lost count. I mean,
it was almost like they didn't know we were there. And then as soon as we showed up, everybody started showing up 2 days later. They're like, oh, wow, they're having a party down there. We need to chill out a little bit. But, okay, I got to tell you the one sighting that was the most obvious to me. There's two of them, but this one. So we saw these things going back and forth. We all saw those. I mean, it was obvious that there was a lot of activity. But the ones that were out there that were bright, that then would go up into outer space, literally in less than 2 seconds, they would move quickly into outer space. And as they moved quickly, the light dimmed and then it vanished. I could tell you right now that, in my opinion, that was not a satellite. That was not a. I mean, the only thing it could be is an outer space craft or one of our super, crafts that we, secret space program crafts. I mean, there's nothing that moves like that out into space. So when I saw that, I was completely convinced that closed it for me right there.
Yeah, you and I, one night we were sitting there and we watched so many in about a half-hour span that were literally leaving. They were close.
Yes, leaving. That is a good word.
Right. You could watch them ascend and fly up and leave. That was insane.
Yeah, I mean, you can't, if you see that with your eyes, you can't argue. I mean, there's nothing to argue about. If anybody that wants to try to debunk UFOs is just an idiot. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but they haven't done their homework, obviously, or they haven't gone to Yosemite. You know what I mean? There's just a lot of stuff going on up there. The other one, I got to tell you, was the one on the mountain, and I tweeted that picture out, where at one point there was it blew up on one part of the mountain, then the other part of the mountain had these two red bright lights coming out, and then the upper right, you can see another light, and then a blue light, and we got that on, we took a picture of that. And that activity on that mountain, there is no way that those are hikers, campers, people up there with, I mean, I can go through all the scenarios. It can't be any of that. That is supernatural activity happening there. There's no doubt in my mind about that.
Yeah, we spent last year, we spent a week up at the Eclipse, right, at Mount Shasta. I looked at Mount Shasta, which is right in your face, man. It's right there. I looked at Mount Shasta for 4.5, 5 days every night. I didn't see one blip of a light on that mountain. I saw nothing. Zero. Nada. It didn't exist. And then you go up to Mount Adams and you're watching this thing. It's like you've strung up a Christmas tree with lights on it. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And you look at,
it was a trip is when they would crisscross and they would be two tagging along together. I mean, it's like, what is that? I mean, we saw, what was it, 4 of them crisscross at one time, right? You remember that?
Yes, I do. And
that was bizarre.
And Billy Carson and I were standing out there, and this light clearly comes down, moves across from the top of the mountain straight down, and Billy and I are standing there watching it together. And it goes down, and it looks like it stops, and then all of a sudden this beam of light comes out of the trees and points straight up, and then starts to scan the mountain. And I was like, what does this?
Wow.
You know what does Jose Torres? Jose Torres got the most amazing photograph of it, and you can see it now. Just look at this photograph, and you tell me what it is. But that's nothing natural. It's not some natural phenomenon. One of the things that I've considered about Mount Adams, because it's a dormant volcano, it's not active, but is it possible that that's lava, poking out of different spots on the mountain and glowing, like it does in Hawaii, for example? But it's a dormant volcano. There's nothing. You don't see steam coming out of it during the day.
No. Well, I got to tell you, there was one night. I don't know if you were out there. So on the left, you take the middle of the mountain and you kind of go to the left a little bit, down just slightly above the trees there. You know what that area I'm talking about?
Right.
And there was this one light that kept kind of getting brighter, and then it wouldn't go out completely, but it would dim down. And then next to that, on a straight line going left to right, there were 3 or 4 other lights that were much softer and dimmer. But I don't know what that was, but I mean, it kind of looked like, if I was going to imagine, it looked like a craft. But there was one main light that was brighter than the other 3 or 4. I don't know if you remember seeing that, but that kind of blew my mind a little bit, actually.
Yeah.
I was convinced that, yeah.
None of it makes any sense, Eric. Thank you so much, man, for hanging out. It was just an amazing week.
Right on, man. Well, enjoy the show. We'll catch up with you later, bro.
You got it, Eric. Thank you so much.
All right, good night.
Eric Awakening, man, and his he had a tent that was like a condo. It had a front porch and everything. Pretty incredible. And his chairs that he brought up for everybody, the famous gravity chairs. There you go. Now, you know what? I've got so many phone calls coming in. I'm gonna roll to the next one. Area code 435. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're there. Area code 435. Let's try it again. Area code 435. You're up next. Okay, that's not working. Let's go again. You're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? All right, that's not working. Let's go to this one. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Turn me down in the background.
I just did, Jimmy. How you doing?
Hey, Frankie, how are you?
Doing good. I got a True Finder and I got Oceanic Child here with me.
You got who and what and where?
Well, I got Truth Finder, that's the oldest, and I got Oceanic Child, which is Aaron.
Oh, how are you guys? You made it back home safe.
Yes, we did. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, Jimmy.
Right on, man. It was great hanging out with you guys for a week straight. Very sad to see you guys depart. Before we get to that, this is Frankie Four Fingers, everybody, and I want to thank you for not only the drone footage, because the drone footage is incredible, and I was going through all of it again today. Absolutely incredible, and it meant so much to myself and Rita, and of course Dana and John, for you to take the time to shoot that high def footage. It's just incredible, and it just really completed the week. But thank you for bringing up the family and everything that you did all week for us, and of course the pastrami sandwich.
Oh, yes. I hope you enjoyed that pastrami sandwich, and I will have some more video coming your way at a later time.
You know, it was so funny out there in the Field of Dreams at night in the dark to have everybody asking me if I got the pastrami sandwich. I mean, it was the talk. It was the talk of the night. That was a lot of fun, man, and just thank you for that. The sandwich was amazing, by the way. But to have you and the family up there, such a special event. And before we get any further, for you, because you were out there every single night, what was the best sighting for you for the week?
Well, there was probably several. The one that you explained that filled up your MVGs, I saw it from the start, and then when it lit up, it was probably the brightest one I have ever seen out there. And it just continued on and flashed a few more times, but it was bright all the way until it disappeared. You couldn't see it anymore.
When you see something like that, and the two flashes that it did about 10 seconds apart, it lit up the entire sky. Now, I was watching it with night vision. Were you using night vision or your naked eye?
That was just with my naked eye, and to see it with the naked eye was pretty darn bright, and I'm sure it probably almost shut down some MVGs out there if they were looking at it.
Well, and I was on Clyde Lewis Ground Zero on Friday night, and I was telling Clyde about the sighting, and I'll say it again to everybody that is listening to me. On Friday night, if you were up in the Pacific Northwest, if you were in Washington State, in any of that general area, Mount Rainier, Mount Adams, in that area, what did you see at around, that was pretty early on, probably 9:30 at night. Did you see the flashes in the sky? And did you get any pictures of it or any video? I would like to hear from you, anybody in the Pacific Northwest, because clearly the way it was traveling in the sky from the south to the north, there must have been thousands of people that saw that. Can you imagine driving down the road on a freeway or a road and just have that flash happen in the sky?
Yeah, I'd probably wrecked my car.
I know. I mean, that was nuclear. It was a real flash. That was not imagination stuff.
No, it wasn't. It was totally visible, even, with the naked eye. It was darn bright. It had some color to it, which was a little different. Yeah, granted, there was some smoke in the sky from all the forest fires, but still it had a little bit different color than normal that you normally see.
Yeah, I know. That was very special for me, too, as well. And before I let you go, what'd you think of those Bigfoot prints?
Well, I was just going to mention that. Yeah, we had those, the second set. They were only about 50 feet from our motorhome, the land barge. And, of course, I was in a tent, and I was hoping he would have come and visited me at the time. But, I think my snoring might have scared him away. But I took some pictures of it, and there are definitely prints there.
Yeah,
they're big.
You're right. I forgot to mention that they totally curved straight towards your motorhome. How does that make you feel? I mean, it was right there.
It was like, darn it, I missed the party.
Thank you so much, John. And just an amazing week with you and the family up there. And it was so special. We're going to do it again, but and you'll be there. But you guys were such a big part of everything that went down up there at ECETI for Soul Tech. So I just want to say thank you from the entire team here and the production to you and your family. Thank you so much.
Well, I appreciate it, and I appreciate you and Rita and everybody else for putting that on, and hopefully we'll do it again, and we'll make it better next year. And everybody say goodbye. Bye. Later, Jimmy.
Good night, everybody. Good night, Chris. Good night, Aaron. Good night, Susie. You guys have a great night, and I look forward to the next pastrami sandwich. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Okay, I don't know what's going on there. And with that, I want to, I'm going to talk more about this after the break. And I'll talk about the classes and everybody that we had up there. Of course, Jason Quitt, and Michaela Sheldon, and Matthew Ryan, and Teresa Yanaris. I can go on and on and on with everybody, but we also had a pretty remarkable daylight sighting up there that happened on Friday. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live. Huh. Don't know what's going on with that. The daylight sighting happened on Friday. Happened around 4 p.m. Now, there's a lot to describe here. It's a lot to describe. But it was about 4 p.m., and I was sitting on the Field of Dreams, and I had a moment where I could kind of get away by myself, and the classes are going on behind me, and everybody is teaching. So I sat down with my Celestron stargazing binoculars, and they were on a tripod, and I'm got it nice and focused on the door, right? The Mount Adams door. They call it Jimmy's door. So I'm looking at Jimmy's door, and I have everything perfectly still and in focus, and I'm looking at the very, very tippy top of Mount Adams, and I've got everything in focus from left to right. And I'm in the zone. I'm very comfortable. And I could see birds and eagles flying around, and when you're doing stuff like this, you're getting everything in focus, and you're able to just look around, right? Well, while I am doing this, and it's probably about 15 minutes. You really get into that Zen moment, and I'm zenning out, and I'm just looking at the mountain. And suddenly, now there was probably 8 people that were sitting with me in a row, talking and doing their things. Sitting directly to my right is Steve Murillo, our good friend. And next to Steve, going off to the right, was probably 4 or 5 other people. And sitting to my left were 2 or 3. So we're looking at, it's probably eight of us sitting there. When suddenly, from behind the mountain, on the right side, at the very top, this is at 12,000 feet, this craft appeared. And it appeared from behind the mountain. Now, before I continue, to the left of the mountain, nothing entered. Okay, there was nothing that flew behind the mountain, so I didn't see that. I would have seen it. There was nothing there. It only appeared on the right side, and it was moving from left to right. It was moving from west to east, and it just suddenly popped up. When I come back after the break, I'll tell you more about it. But at that moment, I panicked. I jumped up and I screamed at everybody there, shoot video, take pictures, shoot video, take pictures, shoot. And I'm freaking out. And the lesson that I learned at that moment is that if something goes down, and I hope I handle it differently in the future, but when something like that goes down, you do not panic. You reach for your cell phone, you reach for your camera, and you take a picture. You shoot video. That's what you do. I lost my mind. It was huge, and it just appeared. And I was in the Zen moment, and it pulled me out of that. My adrenaline took over, and I jumped up and down and started yelling and screaming. Everybody around me did start shooting video and pictures, but in the wrong direction. They didn't know what I was looking at. So I run back around the table, back to my binoculars. And as I come up to the table, I hadn't told anybody what I had seen. I didn't describe it to anybody. Steve Murillo says, "Hey, man, I see it. It's black and spinning, and there's a shiny thing on it, and I can see it." And that's exactly what I had seen. I get back into the binoculars, and I start to follow it. Now, what happened next? I will continue with that right after this short break. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Network in KGRA, The Planet. Tonight, after 2 weeks, it's our first night back, show number 900, and it's our Soul Tech recap special event. All the pictures are posted in Twitter, #F2B.
Hi everybody, this is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now for a special radio offer from Angioprim. That's angioprim.com/radio. ANGIOPRIM. Angioprim.com/radio or call 877-882-7221. That's 877-882-7221.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRARadio.com.
What can I say about the most popular tea on the internet? And what do customers say about Life Change Tea at GetTheTea.com? A lot. But by federal law, we at GetTheTea.com cannot make claims to how this product can enhance your health. We cannot even post our testimonies without being in compliance. So how do we get past the hump? Try our products at GetTheTea.com and see for yourself. You can send us a testimony, but we just can't post it. Bummer. Our products are GMO-free and organic. We pride ourselves in being the best we can be, and we urge you to take charge of your health. We're 11 years strong, and many of our customers have shared their successes with friends and family. Protect your colon. Log on to GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. GetTheTea.com. GetTheTea.com.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why fade to black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
All right, welcome back. Our 900th show tonight. Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network and KGRA The Planet. I'm your Jimmy Church. And tonight is a very special night. We're doing a recap of Soul Tech. We just spent a week up at East City Ranch for our conference, along with Modern Masters, Dana Lund and John Lund and Dana Harvey. And the entire team. It was just an absolutely extraordinary week up there. And before I continue with the phone calls, I want to say this. So Friday night, we did a really cool thing out in the Field of Dreams, and we did a little meditation and a clearing, and we had some music out there, and we did that. But it was the Singing Bowls. So everybody got together. There's plenty of pictures posted of this as it went down. But I have to go back to what happened last year when I was in the medicine wheel and we did the medicine wheel ceremony, and Teresa Yanaris and Lori, and I'm trying to think of the third. Anyway, sat down with the Singing Bowls, and that's where I did my thing last year, the thing that I won't talk about. It was personal. Anyway, I'll never forget the sound and the power of those Singing Bowls. So Friday night, this happens, right? Friday night. And I'm walking around listening to them, and I went to the back of the crowd, and it was magical. It was really, really, really cool. And I'm standing there, and this is my thought. Do not close your eyes. Don't do it. And it wasn't that I was scared or anything like that. That's not the point. I'm hosting this event. I need to have my faculties about me, right? And I didn't want to lose that. But I'm walking around, and I stopped for a second, and for a few minutes, and I just watched and listened, and my memory went straight back to the magic of the medicine wheel. And I knew, just like everybody else there, but I knew that if I would have closed my eyes and just given it a few seconds, poof, I'd have been gone. It's that special. It's that special. Now, I don't know, everyone. I don't know if I could be at another location and have the Singing Bowls kick off, and that it would, that magic would go down. I don't know. There's something about ECETI and that experience that I know it's a guarantee. And there's something about it, and that was such a special, special moment. And we had Latita that night, and Michelle and Matthew played, and it was just incredible. That was so much fun. And then that kicked off. That was after the sighting, right? that happened earlier in the night and earlier in the afternoon, and I couldn't. It was that sighting was so special and was so awesome and so amazing. I have now said this a few times. I've seen so many extraordinary things, and I've talked about it on the show many, many times. But that daytime sighting was the Holy Grail. So let me explain to you why. At the top of the mountain, at the peak of the mountain, when you're looking at something 14 miles away at 12,000 feet, to have something that huge appear from behind the mountain, I know with my binoculars and looking at the size of the mountain is 12,000 feet. And to have something that big show up from behind the mountain, I can only guess at its size, but it had to have been between 100 and 200 feet tall. It was black. It was tall, slightly egg-shaped in that the bottom and top were a little bit rounded, but it was tall, and it stayed perfectly still in that it wasn't out of focus or anything. It was just like perfect. And it's spinning, and in the middle of it was a big round silver circle. Like a logo on a beer can is the best way that I kind of can describe it to you. And it was spinning, and it was moving from left to right. So when I jumped back down into the binoculars after Steve verified what he was seeing with his naked eye, I'm looking at it in the binoculars, and I've picked it back up, and it's moving. I then left the binoculars and was looking at it with my naked eye, and it was crystal clear, and it's just hanging out there, and it's spinning. I went back to the binoculars and tracked it, where it should have been, and it was gone. And so I came back off of the binoculars and looked again, and it was gone. The entire sighting lasted somewhere around 15 seconds. And I think I might be a little generous with that. About 15 seconds. And Steve said it just faded away. I don't know how something that large could just disappear. And I thought at that altitude from where we were looking at it, we were going to watch this for a few minutes. It was in a perfect straight line, way above the tree line. It's at 12,000 feet. And I thought we were going to see it forever. And it just faded away and was gone. I can't explain it. The first thing that popped in my mind as I saw it is I thought hot air balloon. That was the first thing, the first instant. And as I looked at it, it was too big for that. But second, it was tall. It didn't have a balloon shape. It was tall. That's all I got. I can't explain it anymore. That was the most extraordinary thing. So I'm asking everybody out there, please look at your cameras, look at all of the images that you shot on Friday at around 4 o'clock, right in that area of Mount Adams, and hopefully somebody captured something right at the top of the mountain at its peak, immediately to the right. And it was black, tall, with a perfect round silver circle in the middle of it. That's all I got. It is now officially elevated above the green chrome balls. That's it. This tops the Zorro Z. This tops everything that I have ever seen. It was absolutely incredible to see it in the middle of the day. And thank goodness Steve Murillo, my good friend, was sitting to the right of me and witnessed it with me. It was absolutely incredible. With that, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Yeah, is this me?
Yes, it is.
Well, this is Phil from the PNW.
How are you, man?
Doing pretty good. I'm going to say I did listen and close my eyes on the Bulls. and that was quite nice.
Now, before
I love cruising like that.
yeah, that was a cruise. Before I say anything further, Phil was not only at ECETI, but I've never met Phil before. Didn't know what he looked like or anything. And I'm standing in the back of the facility, like right around dinner time, and Phil is standing there with his staff and his glorious eye patch. That is an amazing eye patch that you sport, Phil. It's black, leather, studded, really cool, right? So he's standing next to me, looking pretty regal, tall guy. And I said, "How you doing?" I didn't know it was Phil. And he goes, "Hey, man, it's me, Phil Christophers from the Pacific Northwest." I couldn't believe it. Phil, meeting you in person was one of the great experiences of my life, my friend. And it was so cool. And when I turned around and introduced you to everybody out loud, everybody, it's Phil from the Pacific Northwest, to hear everybody applaud and yell and scream, that made me feel pretty good. And I hope that you enjoyed the moment of so many friends saying hello.
Well, I am not one that likes accolades, really. But, yeah, no, it was kind of nice. And one thing that made it kind of tough for me, though, Jimmy, because everybody was saying, "Hey, Phil," and I don't know who their names are.
Phil.
But I'm going to have to say, Jimmy, I just want to get this out. I mean, I really appreciate that you and Rita and the whole crew there that put that on, because that was awesome. The people were amazing. I've not had conversations like that ever with other adults. I mean, my friends, they glaze over pretty quick when I start talking about this stuff. So it was from my heart, man. I love y'all.
Man, it was just so special to have you up there with us, and I look, it may have escaped me, Phil. Maybe you were mentioning that you were going, or you mentioned it, and I just missed it. But I didn't know that you were going to be there, and I had no idea, what you looked like or anything. But it was the way that we met that was just so cool, man. And it was just a really cool moment. So, okay, what was for you? What was the highlight?
Well, yeah, no, I can't do that, Jimmy. I can say Jason Quitt, Teresa Yananos, and yeah, my neighbors where I was camped. This couple was there, a younger couple. She was a blonde, he was a black hair, kind of short cropped. I can't remember their names. I think Dan and Heather or something like that. I'm not sure. But anyway, that night the wind was really blowing. They had an orb come into their tent.
Yeah, they told me about it. And
okay, yeah, good. Yeah, I thought that was, and the only thing I could corroborate on that I did hear some, or sensed something moving outside the tent.
Yeah, they said that they heard breathing. They said that they heard breathing at that moment, like the orbs, they were fairies, and they could hear the breathing outside of their tent. It was a pretty dramatic. She stayed up all night. She stayed up all night outside of the tent.
Yeah, well, she didn't relate that to me when we were talking, but I did know that she was I hate to say afraid, but I think it kind of rocked her world.
Yeah, they were a little shaken by the whole thing.
They took off shortly thereafter, which I thought wasn't sure whether they got bothered again or what.
No, they really enjoyed the experience. They were hoping for something like that to happen, but they said that the orb was there, and then they saw some stuff that was going on outside of the tent. This was like at 3:00 in the morning. And he woke up and she was outside of the tent.
Yeah, I did. She did mention going outside.
Yeah,
which
totally
is
cool.
Pretty brave of her.
Did you now
for somebody to be scared and then go outside the tent?
I know. So Phil, thank you so much, man. Did you have enough food and music and fun and sightings and knowledge and learning?
Well, I didn't. As you know, I had to leave early on Sunday, so I didn't get to stay for the concert, and I really missed that. Though I did get to hear Latita's flute, and that was pretty nice too.
Yeah,
I liked that. And you know, I was a little disappointed, Jimmy, just because, but it's my own failing. You know, I just couldn't see the stuff everybody was seeing, and I thought, well, I guess there are some limitations to myself. I have to admit, you know.
Well,
but you know, hey, it was good. The energy of all of you when you were seeing it was, you know, pretty awesome.
There you go. Well, man, you've got an eye patch, and we should have got you on the night vision, but we'll do it next time. I promise.
Yeah, well, I think I might by next year. I might be able to afford my own by then.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll get you a spare pair. Thank you so much, Phil, man. And again,
yeah, it was great, and yeah, definitely Soul Tech 2. I'm there.
You made it special for all of us, my friend.
And I'm going to try to do better next time. I've got my own Tibetan bowls. I don't know whether anybody heard them, but yeah, I should have gone out there to the circle. That medicine wheel is awesome too. There are definitely some energies there.
Yeah,
I'm going to say.
Yep.
As an energy worker, I can tell these things.
Phil, again, thank you so much, man. And it was just great hanging with you all week. Thank you so much.
Yeah, much love, bro. And take care.
Right
Give
back.
Rita a hug for me.
I sure will, Phil. Thank you so much. And Phil, you know what Phil looks like? He looks like Gandalf. So picture that in your mind, walking around with his staff and his look and his thing that he's got going on. Phil is absolutely amazing. Let's go to area code 412. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, this is Ian.
Hi, Ian. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. It's our first night back after 2 weeks.
Nice. Sounds like you had a good time.
You didn't make it, I take it.
No, I didn't make it. However, I wanted to bring up 3 interesting points on your show I thought of while I was on the line. First off, we talked before on Coast to Coast, and we talked specifically about the Vatican and what they could have in their archives.
Right.
I was listening to a podcast of this guy, I'm sure you know who he is, Freeman Fly.
Uh-huh.
There was this guy that was randomly talking to him on there, a military industrial type, and he was saying that, you know, like, when it comes to it in the Vatican, Tesla, actually, his uncle or something worked as an archivist in the Vatican. And I find that really interesting because there's this amazing documentary online called Tesla, Everything is the Light, and it's just like quotes of Tesla. And a lot of the stuff he says sounds like it's like parts of the Bible or vice versa, you know?
Interesting.
Uh-huh. All right, and then the second point, totally off topic, but I really wanted your opinion on Stan Romanek and what you thought of, like, that whole thing because, you know, the documentary and then the charges, and then he, like, flicked that pen to discredit himself, which later he said was actually to protect his family. And then third off, I just wanted to tell you one last thing. I was watching a really cool, like, ghost hunter type of thing. This old guy, he was listening to ghosts on, like, you know, apps and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And he heard and recorded a spaceship that was docking. It was really interesting, and I just want to know what you thought of like the paranormal and aliens and all of that.
Okay. Well, do you want to stay on the air while I answer these, or you want to listen off the air?
Absolutely.
Okay. The first question, which is about Stan Romanek. Stan is a bit of an enigma in that he wrote a lot of books. I think 3. Was responsible for a couple of images and videos that really stood out in the UFO community. One was the alien in the closet looking up, a pretty extraordinary photograph. And of course, the famous nighttime video of the ET looking in his back window in his yard, and it was captured and he ran out in the yard and so forth. So Stan had all of that going for him. And before he was arrested, he was on Fade to Black. And it was a fun show. I've followed Stan for years, and I really look forward to having him on. And then the charges came down for the child pornography that was found on his computer, the trial that happened after that, and of course, his conviction, and he went to prison for a couple of years. He was just released. He's now out. I'll say this. For those out there that would suggest that the man, the government, planted the pornography on his computers to discredit him and, of course, convict him, that's a pretty extraordinary suggestion. And now to say that it did or didn't happen, I don't know. Is it possible? Of course it's possible with a computer. There's no doubt about it. But there's another part of me that would say, why discredit Stan? You know, he had already had already issues in the UFO community with the videos, the pen flipping that you're talking about. I think when he was on the air with me, or I was on the phone, we were maybe having a Skype conversation. I was watching the video, and something had fallen in the video when I was talking to him too as well. And I went back and looked at that a couple of times. I don't have it anymore. I went back to look for it, and somehow I don't have it. But anyway, I felt a little bit weird about all of that. And I don't think that the government would necessarily go and do that to him, because he was already, discrediting himself at a pretty fair clip. All of that being said, he was convicted. He did his time, and now I don't know what the future holds for Stan. I don't know how that is going to play out. I have said it many, many, many times, just like going back to Podesta. If you're going to discredit somebody and ruin their life and ruin their career, bring up child porn. You don't even have to be convicted. It only has to be mentioned, and your life is over. And that's what happened to Stan. So again, I don't know. I don't know. I've read the police reports, and it seems like a pretty solid case to me, and he was convicted. And, I'm not going to go and get into the conspiracies of our judicial system and crooked cops and how somebody could get set up. Yeah. I don't know. You know who knows the truth? Stan Romanek. Okay? That's who knows the absolute truth. I don't. Now, your second question, what was your second question?
About the paranormal with aliens and extraterrestrials. What do you believe, as far as it being associated, or how strongly?
You mean the paranormal with ET with ghosts and contact with them? I think it's actually a very simple a very simple situation in that when we are talking about parallel worlds, the possibility of things that can enter into this world and exit it, could it be confused as, or, could certain ghosts be ET? Could certain ghosts be time travelers? Could certain ships appear and disappear in front of us and shimmer in and out of our vibration and be confused for something else? I absolutely believe that is the case. And we could have examples of it all the time, and that's my take. Until we firmly get to the scientific side of what a parallel world is, or multiverse, other dimensions, and figure that out, and what our soul is doing in life after death and all of that, until scientifically we get a firm footing there, will we know the answers. But wouldn't it be funny if we someday make contact with time travelers and ET, and we find out, and ghosts, that they're all different situations, or that we find out that they're all the same, right? I'm looking forward to that day, Ian, and we're close, man. Science is right there. Science is overlapping with our little fringe community when it comes to parallel situations and time travel. That this extra dimensional situation with ET could be a lot of different things. ET could very well be the majority of what we are seeing here could be us. It could be us from the future.
You know what I think?
What do you think?
I think Dr. Emoto needs to do more experiments with his water crystals.
Yeah, I know. That's really cool, too, as well. Ian, I got to take a break right here, man. Thank you for the phone call.
Good talk.
Good talk. Yeah, he's right. The water crystals, there's something going on there, especially when you think about our bodies being all water. All right, this is our 900th show, and it landed on a Fader night. Tonight is our Soul Tech recap. All of the images are being posted at hashtag F2B on Twitter. It's open lines. More of your phone calls are next. And if you're on hold, stay right there. I'll get to all of you. I'm your host, Jimmy Church, and this is Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. I'll be right back.
Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously, go Beckley Tappy. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Hey, can we talk about something serious for a minute? Your age. Getting old has its perks. But remember, being a few years younger, you know, your hair was thicker, you didn't have so many wrinkles, that extra weight wasn't haunting you, and you just felt better. Well, we can't turn back the clocks and go back 10 or 15 years, but you can start feeling and looking 10 or 15 years younger with Nature's Youth RSF. It's a doctor-formulated daily supplement that helps your body maintain its peak performance and fight the aging process. Imagine sleeping better, looking better, and feeling better. See how Nature's Youth RSF has helped thousands of people just like you at nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com. The holidays are coming. Imagine how it will feel when your family and friends are asking you what you did to look so good. Your secret will be Nature's Youth RSF. It's time to start looking better and feeling better. Learn more and order your Nature's Youth RSF at nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
All right, welcome back, Fade to Black. Our 900th show. Wow. And it falls on a Thursday night, a Fader night. It's our first show back after taking 2 weeks off after 5 years of straight shows. And we're back tonight, and we just spent a week up at Soul Tech and our conference up there that we did with Modern Masters. And I do want to thank Dana Harvey and John Lunn and, of course, Mary Gabrielle. Sherry, too, as well. Sherry, you were just absolutely amazing in helping us produce this event. And the event, and if you're on hold, I'll get to you in just a second. Stay right there. The event was a teaching event. And to have that concept go into play so early on that we were going to teach, we weren't just going to do some normal conference. That was the goal for me to walk around. And I did this for 3 straight days. I walked in to each of the classrooms, everything packed, and to watch the attendees paying attention, learning, was so rewarding for me to just sit there and watch this. It was unbelievable. So think about that next year when we do Soul Tech again, that is actually what is going on. Jason quit, just having an entire room full of people going through the postures, the Egyptian postures, and Billy Carson, the overflow, chairs out, and everybody in focus. Holly Marie, Teresa Yanaris, and I went out into the orchard and watched her for about a half an hour. Everybody taking notes, classroom after classroom. I don't want to leave out one of the extraordinary moments for me was going in and sitting with Michaela Sheldon and watching her channel and with a long line of people, asking questions. I had never seen that in person from any channeler, but to have Michaela Sheldon sitting there with that, it was just so impressive. Matthew Ryan, just incredible. Everybody it was just insane for me. It was such a rewarding weekend. So think about that. Next year, it's going to be sold out immediately, and we're going to structure things a bit differently too as well. But you really need to think about next year's event and getting there and getting in early. And I warned everybody that was going to sell out, which it did. But I know that there were many people that wanted to attend that didn't, and they go and listen to this show tonight knowing that it all went down. It all went down. The sightings, the fairies, the portals, the orbs, Bigfoot prints showing up. It was all of that. And I did one other thing. There's some video posted of this, but I did it a few times over the weekend where I jumped on James's motorcycle and I just headed off and toured ECETI by myself, was able to ride around and drive across the Field of Dreams and park it and just go and sit by myself and just cruise around. And it was something very special for me to do, to get out there alone and go and do that. And it was very, very special. With that, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live. 3, 2, 1. You're live. Oh man, I hate to do that to anybody. All right, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. If you attended ECETI, I would love to hear from you. There were a few fairy stories up there. During the opening ceremonies, which was Friday night, I got up and spoke to everybody. And I went and looked, and Jason Quitt shot the video of it. And I went back and watched, which I don't do, but Jason said you've got to check this out. What's this? I just got home, got an awesome gift from my ex-neighbor Slash. Oh, really? Oh, look at that. That's pretty cool. A guitar clock. There you go. That's pretty cool, Scott. And so I went and watched my little opening statements to everybody, the orientation night. And there's a segment in there where I'm talking about the fairies. And I've told the fairy stories many times, but you have to understand that I'm almost 55 years old. I'm grown up. I've lived my life, and it's all good. And to go and tell fairy stories, that's a tough thing to see a grown man talk about. I don't have issues with it anymore. But Christine Contini had a fairy experience up there, and I wish she was with us right now to tell the story. But she carries these glass bottles of water around with her. They don't have a label on it. They're pretty elegant looking. They're identical. And she keeps them filled with fresh water, and she keeps them with her all the time. And she said she went into her room, put the 3 bottles down. 2 were empty. One was half full. And she set them down on her nightstand, woke up in the morning, and 2 of the bottles were gone. And one of the bottles had a missing bottle top, screw top, missing on it. And she did what she was supposed to do, what she asked the fairies to return her bottle cap. And she left the room, came back a few minutes later. She said there were dark sheets on the bed, and right there on the bed was her bottle cap. Now, look, I'm just saying, you hear something like this, and I understand, oh, you didn't see the bottle cap. Well, she looked for it, and it was on the bed, but it wasn't there before she left. This is something that you have to experience for yourself. And I know it sounds like there's an explanation for all of this, and I get that part of it. I do. But you have to experience it for yourself. And then when it does, and it happens, and you ask for something, and then it gets returned, then there you go. All right? And I really mean that. So with that, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Deb from Sacramento.
Hi, Deb from Sacramento. Jimmy. How are you?
I'm so excited you're back.
Yeah.
We've really missed the show.
Oh,
yeah.
I know.
I'm sorry I couldn't be there, but I saw a little bit of footage that you guys posted, though. James Gilliland had posted a video of the Skywatch. It's about 2 minutes long, and it was from the first night.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, with the UFOs crossing each other and then powering up. You can't tell me that those are satellites. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. There's no way those can be satellites. They're too low, they're not far enough in the sky. And satellites don't power up and they don't change directions and cross over each other. It's just insane.
Yeah, I saw that video the next day. That was a little compilation of Tuesday night. Tuesday night, like I said, we had 50, 80 things that were going down, and that was just a little capture of, but it was that crazy. It was crazy.
The
U-turn.
funny part, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that U-turn happened before those videos that you're talking about there, but go ahead.
Oh, well, the part where the one got really big and it powered up, he said, oh, I caught that. You could hear James filming and talking. And right as it powered up and people, you could hear him. I know what you mean. They were whooping and screaming. And in the background, I heard you say, oh, no, I just spilled my coffee.
Oh, yeah,
and then you said, oh, no. And you said, it's all over my clothes. You should see it. And people were cracking up and laughing. And then James said, yeah, I think you got a little too excited there, Jimmy. So you could really feel the, drama behind it all. It was exciting even to watch and listen to.
Yeah, I was drinking my coffee, looking up at this, and then it powered up, and I literally freaked and spilled coffee all over the place. It was crazy.
Yeah, you could sense, just like I said, watching the video, even that little clip, it was like, oh my gosh, and then hearing that in the background, you could tell you were right there watching. And I heard you say, Rita, give me the binoculars, or let me see. So she was handing you the binoculars, and it looked like it sounded like you were watching a craft on the other side of the ones that he was filming, which makes sense because you said there were multiple craft going on at the same time.
Yeah, it was like that the whole week. There were people, it didn't matter. I was getting so frustrated with everyone because I had I had the night vision, but I also had a high-powered laser, right? And that was actually gifted to me. I have it here in the bunker. It's insane. This thing should be illegal. But I had the high power laser. So I'm seeing things and I'm highlighting it with the laser and nobody's reacting. And every time I turned around to look at everybody, they were looking at somewhere else in the sky or looking at the mountain. There were things that were going on at the same time from each direction. It was insane. I mean, I've gone and done a lot of night watches, and they happen at one at a time. Everybody looks at the one up, but no, not up at ECETI this week. It was from every direction all night long. It was a lot of fun.
A buffet of UFOs.
Yeah, it was. It was a buffet. It was a buffet.
Yeah.
Well, next year
Absolutely.
you've got to be there. You don't want to miss it the next time around.
Year.
Thank you so much, Deb. We're back.
It's number one on my list.
Well,
hey, I want to tell you something real quick. I'll be really quick because I know you got other calls. There's a show on the History Channel called Cooper's Treasure, and this guy supposedly, his name's Daryl something, I forget his last name, but the whole season just ran, and he's looking for, who was the astronaut, Cooper?
Gordon
there was an
Cooper.
Astronaut that Gordon Cooper.
Yes.
So he took all of these images from space when he was up there, and it accumulated in a lot of maps, like geographic maps under the water, and that's how he got his tips to look for these treasures. And I just saw yesterday on YouTube, matter of fact, it was on the Secure Team website, and he brought it up and he said they didn't show it on the show. They did find something that wasn't a treasure ship. They think it's a spaceship of extraterrestrial origins, and they haven't released it yet, but he showed a clip of it, and he said that there were like balusters that came out from each side. They were over 300 feet long.
Really?
And there's coral grown all over it, and that the coral itself is dated to be a couple billion years old.
Really?
And so keep your eye out. Yes, keep your eye out for that, because I know you've got your finger on the pulse of all that stuff. If you do a search, or even on Secure Team, you'll see the clip.
What is the show called?
It's called Cooper's Treasure.
Okay.
And it just ended the season on the History Channel, but the Security Team channel was the one that I saw the clip from.
Okay, all right. So, I will go, and I haven't visited Secure Team 10 in quite a while, but I'll see if I can find that. Yeah. You know what's really weird? I haven't watched History Channel in 2 years. Do you believe that?
You've been busy, and you know what? You need to take care of yourself with your ear infection. You're going to have to take some time off over the next 5 years because you and Rita are going to Egypt. And you guys need to take care of yourselves and your time, too. We all love you and miss you, but, don't put your own adventures aside. For us, we'll still be here when you get back.
You know what's funny? During the last few breaks, and it was actually right before the show, I don't know if adrenaline took over or what, but my ear feels 100% better. Yep, and during the last break, during the breaks, I stand up and stretch my legs a little bit and walk around the bunker and then come back. And I was over on the other side just going, hey, man, I feel normal. And I haven't felt normal for like 2.5 weeks. But, yeah, there you go. All right, Deb, thank you so much. And we may do a show tomorrow night. Rita said that we should do another Fader night tomorrow night and just have fun. So we'll see about that. But if we do, I'll post everything up, and then I'll see everybody tomorrow night.
Absolutely. Take care, Jimmy. Take care of yourself, okay?
It's all good.
All right.
Thank you, Deb.
Bless you.
Have a great night.
Good night.
I wanted to mention now we had a lot of weird things that went down. All fun, all good. But there was a little bit of a missing time story. And it involves Rita and Karen. And it was about 10:30 in the morning. And the classes are going on. They just start. And Karen and Rita came up to me. Now, when the classes are going on, I'm by myself now because everybody is in the different classrooms. And Karen and Rita turned to me and walked away. And they walked out, and I see them. And they're heading out to the Field of Dreams, 10:30, quarter till 11 in the morning. And what they didn't know, that out in the Pyramid Circle, which is right in the middle of the Field of Dreams, it's that area that you see with the flags that are hanging down out in the middle of the Field of Dreams. So they're heading out that way, right? And I'm doing my thing, and I'm walking around and taking pictures of the different classrooms and waiting for lunch and stuff. And at 12:30, here comes Karen and Rita, and they're walking back off of the Field of Dreams. I had called Rita a couple of times to check in with her, couldn't reach her, and I was a little alarmed about that. I might have even texted her, where are you? Anyway, they come off the Field of Dreams, and she comes up to me, and I said, "Where have you guys been?" And she goes, "What are you talking about?" I said, "You've been gone for like 2 hours." "No, we have not. It's only been about 15 minutes. I said, "What? Look at my watch. It's 12:30. You guys left at 10:30. She goes, "No, we didn't." "Yeah, you did." She said that when they were out there, they went and sat behind Michaela, who was meditating with Ethan out in the pyramid. There's a wooden pyramid that you can sit under out there. And I there might have been in a couple of spots. I'm not too sure about that. But the point is, they watched Michaela meditate. They thought it was 15 minutes. It was a solid 2 hours. Okay, take off 15 minutes because 10:30 the classes started and then they left after that. So it might have been a quarter till 11. But they walked off that field and walked back to me at 12:30. I showed Rita my watch and she spins to Karen and says, "No way." And Karen goes, "Yeah, that's right. No, it was about 10:30. Yeah, that's when we left." They thought it was 15 minutes. I really thought it was 15 minutes. There you go. I got time for one more phone call. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, this is Charles from Charleston, West Virginia. How are you, Jimmy?
Hi, Charles. How are you?
I'm good. Just wanted to give a shout out to my neighbor, Steve from Bluefield. I listen to your show a lot, and I hear that fellow a lot. Just wanted to give him a shout out, too.
Yeah, absolutely, Charles. So, and thank you for that. Steve is he's an OG fan of this show and part of our family, and we love him so much. So thank you for that. So, Charles, I take it you didn't make it out to ECETI.
No, I didn't, but I definitely added that to my bucket list, and I'd like to make it out there one day soon. That's for sure. Maybe me and Steve can team up and come out together.
Yeah, Steve needs to be there, and so do you. I mean, when you hear, everybody's experiences, throughout the night tonight, and you're looking at the photographs, I know what man, I missed it. Well, okay. Yeah, you did, but we're going to do it again next year. And ECETI, combined with Soul Tech and how we do things up there is it's all good, man. We'll see you next year.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Thank you so much, Charles. Behave and be well.
All right, buddy. I'll call you next time. Thanks, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Love your show. And tell Rita and everybody I said hi. And shout out to the FADERNIGHTs, too.
That's what I'm talking about, Charles. Thank you so much.
All right, take care.
Have a great night. Nothing like a first-time caller with a shout-out to the FADERNIGHTs and Rita. That's magical right there. I'm going to end the night with this. We wrapped Soul Tech with a graduation class photo. And you can go see the video for it up on YouTube. You know what? I'll post it right here for everybody. The class photo was, I didn't have another way to call it, right? The graduation photo. But I had told everybody, okay, get your shirts. We're going to put everybody together because you're going to want to have this forever. It's part of the memories of what is Soul Tech. So the class photo was put together, and yes, everybody got out there. There were a few that didn't make it, a few that left early, a few that were camera shy. But okay, I just posted the video for it here. But to get I don't know, if they're, 150, 200 people together at one spot at one time and pull it off and get the photograph taken was something special. And it was special for me. It was special for Rita, of course, Dana and John and the entire staff there. But it was special for everybody that is in this photograph. And go and watch the video. Go and get through it. Watch it to the very end. The last section of the video is a pan of everybody in slow motion from left to right. And if you're in the photograph, you get to see yourself. If you missed it, next year at Soul Tech, you will be in this picture. And with that, that wraps our 900th show. 900. And I'm looking here, and it's a picture of me sharing my breakfast. Thank you, Alan, with Alan's kids. That was another special moment for me. Thank you, Alan, for posting that up there on Twitter. And all of the images will be in a special video that we will post tomorrow from this show. And I'll get everything up there in the video so you can see it in real time as it happened tonight during the show. I want to thank everybody that attended Soul Tech. If you were there, you know how special it was. Thank you. I tried to say hello to everybody that attended, and you just made it special for all of us. So from Rita and myself, Dana, John, and Mary, and the entire team here, thank you so much for spending this evening with us here on Fade to Black. With that, I'm going to get out of here. We may do a show tomorrow night. Okay? It just may happen. And we'll just do a show. We'll just open up the phone lines and hang out all night. I got the itch. Fade to Black's executive producer is Rita Camarion. Show is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vito, and Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy. SpaceboyMusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and syndication is KGRA, The Planet. Thank you to everyone who called in and tweeted tonight. This broadcast owned and copyrighted 2018 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black of the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Until next time, everybody be safe. Go Beckley Tappy.